You are capable of winning races, but you can't do it alone. It's time to elevate your game to the next level with RMR Driving Academy. Richard Murtaugh is the longest-running setup builder on iRacing with nearly a decade of experience. With a combined 13,000 rating across 2 accounts, Murtaugh has helped more than 20 drivers advance to the World of Outlaws Pro Series. Log on to rmrdrivingacademy.com or find them on Facebook and Instagram.
Good Sunday evening, everybody. Welcome to the Digital Sim Sports Network, the Dirt Racing Network, and live coverage of the Midwest Dirt Late Model Series. I'll be your host and the voice of the Dirt Racing Network, Roger Wagner, all night long for all your racing action. Glad to see the numbers up already in Viewerland. Guys, be sure you chime in, say hi. Don't care where you're watching from, YouTube, Twitch, Trovo, or Facebook. Let us know you're out there. If you got a favorite driver, make sure you shout them out. 16 of these big monster heavyweights at I-55 Federated Auto Parts, Pevely, Missouri. The virtual I-55 Speedway. Drivers in their hot lap session. They've got about 4 minutes left. We have got a good week of racing action for you this week. The only night right now that we're missing officially is Tuesday because the ERA guys are on break. They'll be off this week. They'll be back on next Tuesday, I believe. Fantastic news. The trucks are back this Wednesday, and I found out over the weekend that Thursday nights will start being full once again the first week of April. The Netcode Esports Mighty Midget Series coming back to the Dirt Racing Network. We love those guys. One of our favorite groups to cover. Awesome racing action. I think the guys missed not being on the network most of the season. They just wrapped up last Thursday night. We were nearly there to cover them. A couple of snafus got in the way, and we ended up not being able to do the show. But they'll be back on, I think it's April the 4th for round number 1. So the big double headers coming back to us. Once that happens, we'll be back to 5 or 6 nights a week, and it'll be pretty wild. Hello, Mr. Church. Confirmation over the weekend that our over-under cups from ERA are going into production. We should have them very soon. So if you want an over-under, make sure that you've let us know all the information we need to get it sent out to you. Otherwise, about 2 minutes, these guys are going to get out here and crank off a couple of laps of qualifying, and then we're going to get to a couple 3 heat races and a big feature here for you this evening. All right, now that driver right there in the 31 car, Mr. Matt Smith, your quickest. He is barely edging out Noah Abbott. I mean, it's thousandths of a second. Michael Everett showing a little muscle in here tonight at I-55. He is just about a little over 1/100th of a second. It's about 100th and a half off of Smith. Adam Vinny, just a wink off that fast speed. And then Brandon Wheat. And hard for me to watch that kid run because I know his dad. I know his dad pretty good. And the kid made the switch from the 600 mini mods up to late models this year, I guess. Or maybe not late models. I think he might have went to the B mod this year. And haven't been out to see him race. They've only ran one race this year. Second night got rained out at Meeker, so we didn't we get to go to anything this weekend race-wise. We will. We'll see them. They'll be out there. But I don't know if Gary's watching, but if you are, Gary, I sent you a message on Messenger to give you a chance to come watch this. So you can watch him in real life and you can watch him in fake life. I tell you what I'm seeing. I'm seeing something laying over here in turn 2. It looks like these guys are just running it over right there. That looks like the spoiler off the back of somebody's car. It might be off that car right there, off the 22. Sure does look like that spoiler's missing. I don't know what the heck that is about. Oh, my. Razor decided it was time for an update. Sorry about that, guys. Hello, Jane. That's Brock Bigelow. 55 on the car, but it's 27? Yeah, 27 on our pylon. Some of the dirt cars, they have different numbers than they do on Wednesday nights when they run the trucks. A lot of these guys from that Wednesday night truck series, so. Mindy Lee is also in chat. Thank you, Mindy. And there goes Matt Smith. He was quickest in the warm-up session. We'll see how he does in his qualifying. I love a patriotic paint scheme. I don't really care what kind of car it's on. If you've got red, white, and blue with the stars and stripes, you can get some camera time here on the network. Boudreaux, last week's hero, 1298, quickest. Adam Vinny goes 1282. He goes to the top spot. Nate Smith goes to the top. Or Matt Smith, Matt Smith, 1282 goes to the top spot. Vinny just a tiny bit off of that. He slows down on lap 2. Boudreaux slowed down on lap 2. Burns coming out of 4. He's 7th quick right now. He probably is going to be a little bit pressed to get up there. He had to make up a lot of time. This is Justin Blazer in the 78 car. Hello, Bill. Well, there's the Vinny contingent. And there's Mr. Tim Nichols over on Facebook. Thank you, Tim. Now everybody's covered. We've seen chat from everywhere. Smith is still the quickest. 12.82. Vinny at 12.83. Abbott went 12.86, and he moves up. Alan Stallings now in the 197. Still waiting on a couple of these guys to get out here. Brandon Wheat was 4th quick in his qualifying. I don't see Strang, Lamb, and Lamb. Neither of the 3 of those drivers have come out. Boudinot just out here parking the car, getting out of it. So that means we're going to go to our scenic cams. Just look around the racetrack. We can see some of the slick lines starting to join. These guys had 30 minutes of hot laps. So the entries to 1, the entries to 3 are going to get pretty slick. It's going to get a little bumpy down the backstretch. It's going to get a little thin at the top of 1 and 2 for sure. Probably see a pretty good slick line through the middle, especially down at 3 and 4. That end is always very tricky. Got to hit a fine line when you get up there in 3 and 4. Keep the right rear up out of the fence and keep your momentum up. Where is that Roger guy? Need to get a date with that dude. So, well, it won't be hard to whip his butt. He's an old man. He's tired. And, well, his give-a-crapper is out of fluid, and he has none to refill it with. So, Tim Nichols, if you're looking for that guy, just shoot me a message. I'll tell you where you can find him. Not a problem. He'll actually probably be looking forward to it. That's our good buddy, the Hillbilly. Up there probably at the Hillbilly High Banks right now. I'm just guessing that he is probably sitting at the Hillbilly High Banks enjoying a Dr. Pepper. Probably got his cat in his lap, and he's got us up on the big screen. Don't know if he has company or not, but if he does, shout out to everybody at the Hillbilly High Banks. So we're just waiting for him to run through the session. Drivers meeting going on during the end of the qualifying session as usual. And then we'll throw these guys out here. We're probably going to have 2 heat races. I would imagine we have 2 8-car heat races. Everybody's going to make the transfer. And then the feature tonight. Last week's show was a lot of fun. They're talking about it being pretty exciting here. I guess they've had a couple of practice sessions, and everybody was doing pretty well. So I watched a little bit in the hot laps. The only thing I see some guys that might have a little bit of problems figuring out where the right rear and the left front are, because I saw some guys hit the inside wall and some guys tap that outside wall. And by tap, I mean crushed it. So they tried to move it 1.5 feet, and it didn't move an inch. So a lot of body repairs going on. There's Beards. Oh, my gosh. Jay Church and Beards both in the chat with Bill, with Mindy, with Jane. I mean, this is a family affair tonight, guys. I will definitely try to make sure that it's a family show for you. Do not forget a full week. We're racing here tonight. We're double-heading tomorrow night. Dirt Slingers Racing League, Monday Night Thunder. Jess and Jim's Steakhouse, Big Block Modifieds, 8 o'clock on the eastern side, 7 o'clock central. They'll follow that up with, I'm going to step out of line. I'm pretty sure the 360s are back in action this week. I don't want to say for sure, but I think the 360s are back in action. And then nothing on Tuesday or Wednesday. Well, we'll have the Midwest truck guys back. But right now, it is time to get down trackside, get ready for heat racing action. And the first of the lineup looks like this. It's going to be the 22 of Noah Abbott on the pole, and he'll have the 14 of Adam Vinny on his outside. Row 2, we'll see the 27. It's actually the 55 on the car of Brock Bigelow inside, and then Justin Blazer in the 78 on the outside of that second row, your third row. Michael Everett on the outside in the 20. I missed the distant 21 car and the 22 of Tony Martin on the inside and the back row. Looking down at him. Inside, the 16 of Tracy Burns and 90 of Dustin Lamb on the outside of that row. There's your back row starters. Sure do like the paint on that 32 car. That is very, very slick. All right. First heat race. The pace truck is going to make a hard dive left over here in turn number 4. I don't know how he makes it through this tiny little opening at this angle, but he surely does. That's a sharp turn right there. But the green flag's in the air. We're on the way for heat number 1. Up the backstretch, out of turn number 2, and Abbott's going to grab the lead. Vinny's trying to hang on to second. He's up high. Car got a little tight mid-corner, but he's able to hang on to it. Bigelow up to the third spot, shoots to the top side. Trying to keep the 55 car out where he can have momentum. He'll work it out of 4. He's still got Blazer alongside, and Blazer, little tap of the right rear to the left front. He'll move right on by. They'll head up the backstretch and into turn number 3. Abbott, Vinny, Blazer, Martin, Bigelow now 5th. Everett is 6th. Lamb a distant 7th. And Tracy Burns has had an issue, and he's already taken that car into the work area in the infield. Abbott, slick car. Looks like he's got all the horsepower, making it all the way to the dirt. Oh, that time got tight getting into 3, or maybe he intentionally ran that slider line. He hasn't been, so that looked a little different to me than his previous 5 laps. See what he does here. Yeah, I think he maybe made a mistake, maybe overpowered the entry to the corner. 2 to go, heat number 1. Still Abbott and Vinny 1-2, and they are broken away from third place, and that battle looks like it's going to heat up. Tony Martin trying to peek to the inside of Justin Blazer. He's not going to get it done. A white flag. One more time around. Up the inside, a little fender to the door. Abbott wins it. Vinny's second. Martin sneaks through for third. Blazer, Bigelow, Everett, Lamb, and Burns wrap up heat number 1. So great heat race to start things off. We'll get down here and we will get ready to take a look at the starting lineup for heat number 2, and this is how we'll do it. It's going to be the 31 of Matt Smith on the pole, and he'll have Brandon Wheat in the 11 on his outside. Corey Boudinot, 34, looking to go 2 in a row. He'll go inside row 2 next to Braden Watkins in the 22, and then Alan Stallings, the 197, next to Aaron Murphy in the 7 and the 420 of Jacob Lamb. I think that car only has a 42 on this side of it. I don't think it has 4. No, it does. It has 420. Love when I'm wrong. Every time I think I got these guys figured out, they show me in the 7. That's actually a homage scheme. Has that 0, the very famous 0 on the side of it. All right. Pace truck turned the lights off. That means we're going green this time. 7 more cars for 8 more laps. Winner of this one will start on the outside of the front row for the feature this evening. Green flag in the air, and heat number 2 is underway. Smith went to the front. Oh, he almost turned that car around. He had to really work hard to keep it straight, and that's going to let Boudinot get right alongside. It's going to move him up off the line coming out of 4. Boudinot had to roll off the brake to stay out of the left side door with that right front fender. He'll regather, go after it again. Battles behind that. Wheat on the high side. Stallings down on the inside. The 11 trying to find that moisture. Surge ahead. He'll get it done down the backstretch, and now he's watching the battle in front of him. And try to work to the inside of one of the best drivers in this series, the 34 of Budno, who goes to the high side. He's going to make short work of the 31 up there. He's got all the momentum. Budno goes to the lead at the halfway point. Smith still second. Wheat tucked in behind him, and Stallings, they're three in a line. And I think Wheat is going to have to go try to run that high side if he wants to sneak around the 31 here. Budno doing what he does. He gets out in front and gets away from everybody. We're going to watch that battle for third right here. Stallings and Wheat side by side. Wheat on the top side. Stallings was working the bottom. That time went to the middle. That'll cost him. Little too slick right there. Wheat will drop to the bottom, coming to the white flag. Murphy, Lamb, and Braden Watkins are still out here, but they are way off of it. It's all Corey Budino up front. He'll start on the outside of the front row. He wins heat 2. Matt Smith second. Brandon Wheat third. Alan Stallings, Aaron Murphy, Jacob Lamb, and then Braden Watkins. So Budino started deep. He had trouble in his heat last week, started deep in the field, still went to the front. Tonight he'll start up front, and I don't know if that is an omen of good or an omen of bad for the rest of the field. You put that guy starting up front, and you're going to play catch-up pretty much all night long. Matt Smith. Good fight last week. Ran the car hard. Tonight already floating the spoiler out there. He's going to have to go in and try to get that one fixed. Somebody's got the Bigfoot Hunter stuff on the car. That's the 420 of Jacob Lamb right there. I don't care where you're at, guys. If you're on the Facebook page, like, share, and follow. If you're over on the YouTube, Twitch, or Trovo, hit the subscribe. You'll know every time we go live. Up to six nights a week. 7 to 9 races every single week. Unless some of the series are on break. And if there's nothing out there to cover, then the only thing you can do is go over and watch replays. But 2025 makes 8 years of replays for you to go watch. Well, be 8 in September, so 7.5 right now. We've been at this here, the Dirt Racing Network, a long time, the Digital Sim Sports Network, for about the last year and a half. And before that, we were over with the Max Speed TV guys, and we miss Rudy a lot. But Rudy has retired. Lots and lots of shows covered in our time. Tom Ostendorf has something to say tomorrow night. Well, he's got to go to Discord to say it. I'll tell you that much, Jim. You might remind all the guys over there to pay attention in the drivers' meeting tomorrow night, because I know the admins have rewritten that thing, and the crackdowns are coming. Had a couple of meetings with them during the week after last Monday night's racing, and some minor but important changes, so they might want to pay attention. Noah Abbott, quickest in this warm-up session right here. The driver still got a minute 45. You'll get treated to 2 races tomorrow night. You'll get treated to a truck race, which kicks off the season for the Midwest guys as they come back to action. On Wednesday night, This Thursday, I don't think we even have practice races with the netcode guys. I think they're actually off this week. And then we'll hit it hard and heavy next week. We're hoping to be here for next Sunday night's race. We got back early from all the work over the weekend, this weekend, so we're able to cover. We will see how next weekend is going to go. And we're going to try to make it back nonetheless. See if we can stay on for these guys until we have to be gone, because there's a couple of weeks we don't have a choice. Practice session coming to a close. That means the only thing left on the schedule tonight is our feature race. All 16 of them in the lineup for that one. All right, that'll do it for warm-up time, and now feature time. We are going to get ready for them to swap it over. Drivers will start making their way onto the racetrack, and we'll start running through tonight's starting lineup for your feature. All 40 laps of it. The 32 of Noah Abbott next to the 34 of Corey Boudinot. That's your front row. Both won their heat races this evening. We'll move to row 2 and see the 14 of Adam Vitti inside, Matt Smith, and the 31 on the outside of that row. And then Tony Martin inside in the 22. Row 3 next to Braden Wheat in the 11. Justin Blazer, the 78. Row 4, he's got the inside starting spot there. And he'll have Alan Stallings in the 197 on his outside. Your fifth row looks like this. Brock Bigelow in the 55. Next to the 0 of Aaron Murphy. And then the 21 of Michael Everett. And the 420 of Jacob Lamb in row number 6. Dustin Lamb in the 90. Braden Watkins in the 22 in row number 7. And Tracy Burns supposed to start next to the other Lamb, and apparently he must have left, because I had 16, now I only have 15, so somebody decided this little bull ring wasn't for them, and they hightailed it out of here. Aaron Murphy, the 0, does not make the call for the feature, so we're going to start this thing with only 14 tonight. That front row, tough as it gets. Row 2, all the guys up front got to do is make one mistake, and either one of those two drivers is going to jump all over them. The boys in row 3, they've got their work cut out for them. They're going to have to show a little patience and a little perfect timing if they're going to get up here and steal a win. But it's time to go green. Thunder and lightning on the track. I-55 comes alive. The Midwest Dirt Late Model Series is underway. Abbott went straight from the inside to the outside. He'll grab the top spot, and he'll grab the top line. He leads lap number 1. Boudinot tucked in behind, then down on the inside. Adam Vitti has third, but here comes Matt Smith in the 31. Right through the middle. Smith able to hold serve. Caution for the first time. Jacob Lamb, the 420. He is going to find. He found an issue right off the start. That broken car. He's trying to get that to pit road, and I guarantee you that this right here, he hits that tire. There comes the leaders, and there's your caution. And that's probably a good thing, because Abbott lost the lead right there. Boudinot threw the slider. Because they didn't make it to the start-finish line, that gets erased. And that'll put the 32 back out front. I have no doubt we are going to see a plethora of sliders here in this 40-lap feature. If you're going to make a pass, it's almost the way you have to do it unless the guy in front of you just absolutely steps on it. It's very tight, very close quarters. The very, very high line, the very inside might work for you, but that high line is where you want to be as we come back to the green. And once again, this time Matt Smith kills the car down in turn number 1. Yeah, we knew this was going to happen. Let's get this back. Matt Smith, the 31 car. Up, hits the fence. Yep, as soon as he hit the fence, that de-wedged the car completely. It took all the weight off that right rear. And those cars do not turn in the same when you do that. He's got a lot of right front suspension damage from getting smacked around into the fence when he did that, trying to get down into turn 1. He did get clipped by Stallings, but maybe it wasn't Stallings. It was a 70. It was Justin Blazer that clipped him. It looks like maybe the door is pushed in a tiny bit on that 78 car. So that'll shake a few things up at the front. And that is going to move Braden Wheat up to the outside of that second row. Quickie caution here. Pace truck's out of the way. Abbott. This time not quite as good a start, but he's still going to get the rear end across the nose of the 34, getting into 1 and 2. They were 3 wide momentarily. They're 3 wide up the backstretch. Wheat was up to the top. Stallings in the middle. And Tony Martin was down to the bottom in the 22 car. Martin trying to stay locked in on the inside right here, and Wheat's trying to keep him in check. Adam Vinny right in front, top 2, still the top 2. Abbott and Boudinot. Now Vinny goes up the hill in front of Wheat. Oh, little right rear action, and Wheat did a good job of keeping that car out of the fence up there. Martin goes by, put Wheat back to 5th, and he's in a battle with the 197 of Stallings. Stallings will ease past. Wheat has got to get back into a rhythm here. There's a slider up front. Boudinot went for the lead, and he didn't quite get it to stick. Coming out of 2. All right, back by him goes Abbott, and this is going to be a battle for a moment here. Boudinot with the slider gets up the hill. This time he might have caught some traction. Yes, he did. The car didn't have to pause when it got to the top side of the track. Out of 4, new leader. Corey Boudinot, the 34 to the front. Now the battle's for 3rd. Tony Martin alongside Adam Vinny, and Vinny bobbles off 2. He'll give up the spot. He falls to 4th. He's right in front of Stallings. Wheat went to the bottom, and he's keeping the 11 car locked into the moisture down there. 78 of Blazer right through the middle. Still trying to work past. Not going to get it done out of 4. Now a line swap. Blazer to the bottom, Wheat to the top. They'll be drag racing into turn 3. I went to a dirt oval race and drag racing broke out. They are still side by side. Tony Martin's going to make a bid for 2nd as well. I hate to get off of this because it's 3 cars battling now for the 5th spot. But we got a battle momentarily for 3rd. Let's get back to that battle for 5th. Oh, Wheat with a mistake, getting into 1. He's pounded the car into the outside fence, and the right front is broken. This may be interesting getting down right here. Yeah, caution coming out this time. Let's go watch this first, because I think we had another caution behind that. Up the hill, he brushes the fence. The car got off the bar. No turn, he turned. Ooh, then he gets smacked by the 22. I think he was already broken before that. And now getting down in here, and the car is not turning for him. There's your reason. He's so slow right there that the caution's going to come out for him being in front of company at a very reduced speed. So he'll go in. They'll get it all worked out, fixed up best they can. He'll get back out here. He'll have to join the back of the pack, but he won't lose a lap. Jacob Lamb, on the other hand, needs a couple of waiver rounds. I don't know if they do that in this series. I made a statement last Monday night because I know how Dirt Slingers runs, and the admins kind of got a little bit of an earful for not handing out a waiver round to a driver. But their rule is if you don't ask for it, you don't get it. And that driver did not speak up and say he needed a lap back. So 25 laps remaining when the green drops right here. Pace truck is going to get out of the way. Same two that have been on the front row, just a little different order. And Boudinot got a pretty good start. I think he's going to clear Abbott, but Abbott is going to use that crossover cut down. He couldn't get the car to get underneath him straight, or I think he had a chance to make a run at it down the backstretch. Boudinot will stay out front. Martin is still third. Stallings has the 4 spot right in front of Vinny in 5th, and now Vinny's under fire from Blazer. Side by side behind that, look who's back in the picture. There's that 31 car again. Smith right back up here. He has side by side with the 55. That's Brock Bigelow. Now he's going to go 3 wide as Stallings and Vinny make some contact. Getting exciting back here. About 6th and 7th and 8th. Vinny goes around Blazer. Blazer's going to battle with Bigelow now. Let's go back closer to the front because Tony Martin is watching a battle in front as Noah Abbott and Corey Boudinot get to going at it. Slider City once again coming around to make it halfway. 20 down, 20 up. And Abbott goes back to the point. Now Martin sees that battle has slowed a little bit. He makes a bid for second. And Boudinot used the cut down line, the slider in 3 and 4. Who's going to lead this lap? Abbott. Right back around him. I told you we might get into a slider battle, and that's what it looks like right here. This time Boudinot short slides him. Going to grab the lead back by half a car, but Noah won't give up on that. He's going to go right back to it. Boudinot bobbled on the cushion. Abbott. Long, low slider out of 4 car, a little sideways. I think Boudinot led by about the thickness of the paint on the front end. And Martin says, you boys are fooling around too long. Let's make it 3 wide and see who can come out with the lead. Tony Martin had it that time. Now what can he do off the bottom? Because Boudinot got a fire under the seat. Saw he was going to get 2 for 1. Top 5 are all together. The 197 of Stallings with a little nick in the fence there. Right rear fender's not that important. Contact. Matt Smith is back in this thing. He's back up to 4th. Coming to make another podium run. Stallings is up on the fence. We're getting a caution.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Alan Stallings. 197, little contact there out of 4, goes down into 1 and 2. There's a bump, a little hole right there, and it unsettled the car, and he crawled the fence. And now the boys are down at the bottom. They may be down there because there's moisture, and they're trying to cool the tires off a little bit. As you can see, Boudinot and Abbott are both down there at the very bottom of the racetrack. The guy on the move, 31 car, he was running 4th, got the car out of shape, whacked the fence in turn 1, bent the rear end, probably knocked the right front pretty good off of it. He took it into the infield. Quick work by the pit crew. They were getting back out here. He restarts about 14th. That was about 25 laps ago. Not quite that much. About 20 laps ago.
Green.
And he's already back up to 4th. He's going to battle for a podium spot as we go back to green flag racing. Tony Martin around Abbott. Thought he was going to duck to the inside, getting down into 3. Matt Smith said, I'll do it. We can come out of there 3 wide. I'm all right with that. He'll get 3 wide in 2. Boudinot surges ahead, side by side, Smith and Martin. Still side by side. Abbott is 4th. Blazer is 5th. Vinny's still 6th. Then it's Wheat and Bigelow side by side for 7 and 8. Everett and Burns 9 and 10. And Matt Smith now around Tony Martin. Give him 2nd. And closing in on the 34 car. Smith right through the middle, lost some ground that time in 3 and 4. Noah Abbott up to the fence. He's trying to get back around Tony Martin for 3rd right here. Not quite going to get there. Single digits. 6.5 laps remaining. Big battle back here. Here comes Braden Wheat again. And he gets squeezed down to the inside, had to get on the binders. Blazer, Wheat, and Vinny are all back here battling 6th, 7th, and 8th. Going to go back to the front. Smith is closing in, but it is very slow going. Wave lap that time by 5 laps remaining. Middle looks like it's getting pretty good here. Smith is trying to get there. He got it within a car length that time. 3 to go this time. He's not going to have a lot of time. He's got to do something. Martin has cleared Abbott. He's in 3rd. Blazer, Wheat, and Vinny are still going at it, but I hate to take the camera off the front because that battle heating up. 2 to go. Blazers gotten clear now. It's a single file line, so we can go back to the front as they come through 3 and 4. The white flag flying. Boudinot clear by about 3. Final time around. Does Smith have anything at all here? And I don't think he's got enough momentum. It's not going to happen. Boudinot wins at I-55. Smith 2nd. Martin is 3rd. Abbott, then Blazer. That's your top 5. Top 3 are going to come around to the front stretch. We'll talk to the drivers. 6th place was Wheat. Vinny in 7th. Bigelow 8th. Everett 9th. Burns was 10th. Dustin Lamb 11th. Jacob Lamb 12th. Alan Stallings 13th. Braden Watkins 14th. And Aaron Murphy in the final starting spot, or in the final finishing spot, excuse me. Now we'll get down here and get ready for drivers. They're all already in the chat. This is not going to be sit around and wait night at all. Let's grab the driver that finishes 3rd. He drives the 22 car, Tony Martin. Another podium finish to start the season out. This is 2 in a row. 22 cars looking pretty good.
Yeah, definitely okay with 3rd tonight. As slick as that track was, I'd definitely just take what I could get tonight.
Yeah, it looked like everybody was just searching and fighting and clawing and scratching to find any kind of moisture. And even way up at the fence, it didn't look like there was any. You had to really hug that inside wall, and I just feel like that's way too slow of a line to get around here.
Yeah, the low line was there. You'd almost have to go to the top to get it wound up a little bit and then take another chance down at the bottom.
Well, an awesome run, man. You're going to come home with another podium finish. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you get ready to head out of here.
All right, thanks to my guys over there at Stealth Performance Industry, the league for putting the race on for us all, and you guys for broadcasting.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on another great run. We'll look forward to seeing you back as soon as possible.
All right, thank you, sir.
Tony Martin finishing in 3rd, and now let's get the guy. He started in 4th. He had a problem early, went all the way to the back. He still comes home 2nd. Matt Smith up and down tonight, but another podium finish. You there, Matt?
There?
Yeah, I got you, buddy.
Oh, I can hear you now.
I said you had an up and down night. You started at the front, problem with the car. You went into the pits. You come back. You start way at the back of the field. You worked your way all the way back to another podium finish.
Yeah, I got into the fence there on the one restart, and then I tore the front suspension off the car, limped it to the pit, and then I came back out and I had to regroup on my throttle control. I was overpowering the car almost halfway through the race.
Yeah, it looked like really that was going to be pretty easy to do because it is just black slick all over the place. How hard was it trying to find some grip out there?
It was really hard, and then I noticed the middle line came in pretty good, and I started sticking with that.
Yeah, you closed it up pretty close, and just the last couple of laps looked like Corey kind of found a little extra something to ease away and get that 2-3 car linked victory right there. But an awesome run, man. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous. We'll let you go celebrate a great run again this week.
Thank you. I just want to thank you for broadcasting and the guys over here at Midwest throwing on a nice league to race in, and I'll be back next week.
All right, man. Congrats on the run. Hopefully we'll be back to cover you next week.
Sounds good. Have a good night.
Matt Smith finishing in second, and now hard to hold the guy down. And when he starts on the front row, it's going to be hard to catch him. And only a couple of guys got close, but Mr. Corey, you do it again.
Yeah, I mean, that wasn't easy though. I was a little nervous the whole race actually.
Well, it looked like you were kind of married to the top, and that just kept getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And then Matt drove his way back up there. He showed you the nose a couple times. Is that when you decided that you had to give it whatever it had left?
I'm gonna be honest. I turned my relative box about 8 laps to go, and I said I ain't looking back, and I don't really care if they pull the slider. I'll just pull it right back like I did early on with Noah Abbott, and luckily Matt, I guess he just doesn't like to do sliders or whatever, so that's what he told me down there when we were chatting a little bit.
Well, it looked like you and Noah had a heck of a battle early, and guys were crossing back and forth, and then something happened. He just started to fade. Did you notice that it was somebody different before you saw Matt's car?
I just last I checked, I knew I had Tony Martin in second, and then I didn't know, and I really didn't care who was behind Tony.
Well, an awesome run, man. You do it again. Give me some shout-outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you go celebrate one more time.
Yeah, Fusion Setup Shop, Random Designs Paint Services, SRC Miller Racing. You appeared on your thing, and the league for putting it on.
All right, man, congrats again. We'll look forward to seeing you back here next week, sir.
Yep.
That is your winner tonight, Corey Boudinot. He takes it home for the second straight week. It's going to be hard to catch that guy if they keep letting him win, I can tell you that. He is a really good driver. But you see, there are plenty of drivers in here that are capable of running with him. He just has a little something left in the tank every single week at the end of these things. And as soon as somebody figures out what that is, he's going to get challenged pretty good. So another great week of racing here from the Midwest Dirt Late Model guys. That was a fun one. I love coming to this track. I really don't care what we've brought here or what we've come to watch. It has always been a pretty good race. This place is technical. It's tough. The drivers are either in love with the place or they absolutely hate it. And it puts on a great show every time. So we like coming to I-55. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight. Be sure you join us tomorrow night for the doubleheader, 8 Eastern to 9:30 Eastern. Don't miss either one of those. Say hi in the chat. But thanks for coming in and watching. Thanks for lighting up the chat tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Without you guys, there's no reason for us to do this. Without all the awesome leagues giving us great racing like you saw here this evening, there is nothing for us to cover. High fives and pats on the back all the way around. Until we see you the next time. Peace and love to everybody. Keep the rough side facing down and keep it dirty at all.